Welcome. My name is Gary McGuey, high school practice leader, Franklin Covey Education. We've been doing this leadership series entitled Quarantine. Today, due to the recent events the past few weeks, the team would like to have a discussion around one word, and that one word is change. Team?
Yeah, we wanted to talk about change this week. We wanted to really change it up and really talk about the recent events, especially with the social injustice and racism, police brutality that's been happening. We wanted to talk about it because it's something that needs to be talked about, and we need to shed some light on it. So we just want to kind of have an open discussion with you guys and just kind of get everybody's perspective on it. So like, what do you guys like kind of think about what's all been happening? What are you guys' perspective on it?
Yeah, Dylan, I like how you said that light needs to be shed on. I think with everything that's going on, there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of misunderstanding, and it's really about creating an open and an honest conversation that a lot of people sometimes don't want to have. And I think a major point to make is that people need to start listening to understand instead of listening to respond. When you're listening to people to truly learn and take in information and understand the situation and the events that are going on around you and that have been going on around you for a long time, I think your perspective can change, and I think that's important. As young people and as a community of people who are so connected with each other, we have the opportunity right now to make real change, make a real difference. And so it's extremely important that we have conversations like the one we're having today so that other people that hear us understand these things too.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this is a time where we kind of all have to step outside of our comfort zones, because it's very easy to just kind of keep yourself in that box and be like, well, this is something scary, but like it is, and it needs to change. We need to all, take a stand and take action and do what we can. And yeah, it'll feel uncomfortable, and yeah, it won't be the easiest thing in the world. But I think what we have to realize is that, we can't put on these blinders of just like trying to not see, what's happening. We have to truly take in our world and know what's happening and learn, and then, spread, share, take action, do what we can.
We can't just forget about what has happened in the past or in the last 400 years. We just can't forget about it, and we need to shed some light on it so that everyone who isn't directly affected by it can learn from who is being affected so they can stop it, and our world can just be better.
Yeah, going off of what Hannah said, I feel like now is a really important time to come together. I don't think that what happened should be causing division, because I feel like a lot of us have seen the video or we know what's going on. I mean, you kind of live under a rock if you don't, but I feel like now is the time to not get very prideful about how you feel and not feel attacked, but to listen to other people who have had this pain and who have felt this for a long time, and just to know that we can actually make a change. I mean, it's really, when you're looking at this, it's very bleak and you don't see how the future can be any better. But personally, I want my siblings to not have to worry about the things that I worry about when they're older. And it's just, I feel like we need to keep hope and to know that if we do our part, that we can reach somewhere that's better for the rest of us, where we don't have to worry about things like this.
I feel like there should be more understanding rather than understanding people's actions, more understanding the emotion behind the action that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just the recent events with George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. It goes deeper than that. It's a very deep thing. When people say systematic oppression, it literally means a system of oppressing and keeping down a certain community or a certain minority and trying to keep it down and not no empowerment. So it's a deep thing. It goes into the education system, it goes to the economic system, it goes into the incarceration system, and it's a lot of different things that a lot of different people are just tired of. It's 400 years being put down and trying to be kept in the place. We have to grow together, and I think that's an important. People have to understand the emotion behind the people's actions. Now, I don't necessarily condone everything that's going on, but I think we have to first understand the emotion behind everything.
I definitely agree with you on that. It makes me think, like you're saying, it's a system of oppression, and a part of that system and a part of that change that needs to be made, I think, is also the education system, our school system, and what we're learning. Something that I recently noticed, but kind of always felt, was that I don't get to learn about people who look like me. I don't get to learn about people of color, not unless they're the token people of color. So we learn about Frederick Douglass and Soldier of Truth, but we don't know about George Washington Carver, and we don't know about Madam C.J. Walker, and we don't know about all of these people that we should know about, like we know about other leaders in history. And I think that's another place that this stems from, because we're kept in the shadows of what we should know, and I think that would really help make a change.
Yeah, going off of what Nyla said, education is important. Like, education is power. We've heard that over and over. And it's not, yes, I feel like the school system should do a better job of educating all of us, but you can do the same thing. Like, we have so much access to knowledge and so much access to a lot of things. And it's very easy to go and search up a certain event that you don't know, or just to learn more about what's been going on, because it's not just a model. It's like Dylan was saying, it's a whole system. And unless you know about it, it's really hard to make change happen. So I feel like for those who don't necessarily know everything, you're not being blamed. Like, I don't know everything either, and I've had to search things up the past few weeks. But at the same time, now is the perfect time to go ahead and educate yourself. And to me, there's really no excuse, because we have so much knowledge in these little devices that it's kind of impossible not to be able to find what you need to find.
Yeah, Divine, I like what you said, and I think it's a process. I think you have to educate yourself, and then you need to empower others with that information, and then you need to use those relationships that you're building and use that knowledge to affect change. You can't just keep it to yourself, because it takes all of us to make a real difference. And I like how you're speaking to your personal experience, Nyla. I know that for me, I'm like biracial, right? So my father's African American, and he's also Hispanic, and then my mother is Caucasian. And so then that's a completely different perspective that I feel like a lot of people don't have, and that I don't even know a lot of other people who have it, minus my sister. So it's unique, especially when I'm having conversations, even within my own household. And like growing up in an interracial family, it's unique because of the discussions that we get to have from like all different perspectives. And I have two different sides like of families that like believe different things and that share different values and that were raised different ways. And I see that and I understand those things. And so I feel like coming from that perspective, it's important to understand that people have to come together, and that really people aren't that different. Like, even though you might see these like these differences in certain ways of life, it really comes back to one thing, that's that like everybody is created, everybody's worthy of a fair system and of a life where you don't have to be fearful of the people around you or of the communities you're in or of the situations you could be put in because of the color of your skin. That's not fair to anybody. And it's important that people recognize that and that everybody understands that they are a part of the solution. It's not just one community's problem. This is everybody's problem, and everybody has to work together.
Yeah, I feel like, me personally, I don't understand how the certain events feel, but I understand that I can do the best that I can, and I can try and learn. And like Divine, you were saying, nobody knows everything. I don't know everything, but I think what we have to focus on is allowing ourselves to realize that we don't know everything. And so it's kind of a more humbling type of thing, knowing you don't know everything. So go out, ask your friends, ask your family, have the conversations, do the research, ask questions to people, do different things so that you can try to do what you can, and accept that, yes, none of us are perfect, but we're all trying to get to this like one common ground, one goal?
Yeah, I think it comes back to what we've been learning since we were in preschool, that we have to work together to bring about anything. And that starts with, one, educating yourself and knowing what you're going into, and then two, spreading the light, spreading the knowledge, and being able to work with people who look different than you or have different backgrounds, and wow, I can't say that word, empathize with them, and get to know what struggles they face and how you can help them, so that we can all get to a point where we have hope and we know that we're going to be safe and we don't have to worry about doing little things.
So, anything else, team? I just wanted to just say thank you very much for sharing your brilliance. This word change starts with me, education. Yeah, I'm just in awe of you guys right now. So thank you so much, and we'll come back next week. Thank you guys. Great job.